Hey everyone, Warwick's here. Don't panic, I promise. I'm just trying something different with these videos. Just experimenting. It is, I promise. It's if you don't like it, let me know. I'll go back. But welcome back to the channel. If you are a veteran of this channel, if you are new to the channel, I want to say thank you very much for joining me here today. Today's video, we're going to be going over the Bass Gang's latest release of If I Had a Heart, which is from the show Vikings, which I am a big fan of. And for some reason, the song's name isn't clicking with me. So I'm sure as soon as I start to hear it, it'll start to click with me a little bit because I think the show Vikings has some very cool songs. This one features, and I apologize up front if I do this, it's Ekatarina Shelehova. I think that's how you say it. Who I know Peter had on his Vocal Arts podcast recently, and but I am not familiar with as a singer. I haven't gotten around to listening to that pod episode yet. But just wanted to kind of go over this and just react to it. It's been out now officially for about 4 hours for the non-patron viewers, so I'm getting into this one pretty quickly. All things considered, at least for me, this is very quick to get into it. So let's just go through the quick intro, and then I'll switch over, and I promise we'll be able to see the video. So for those of you that are not familiar with who I am, I go by Corey. It's actually I go by Warwick's in the online channels. My name is Corey. Go by Warwick's on all the online channels because I do it for obviously I do a lot of gaming on this channel. If you look through the catalog, and I've started experimenting with shorts a little bit as well with some of the not online stuff that I try to do. So check that out if you haven't already. But basically, I am not a professional musician. I'm just a guy who started doing this because it was a creative outlet for me. I started doing them in 2022 because I was at a time when I was separated, now divorced. So this was a good way to kind of have a creative outlet, a creative way to kind of take my mind off of what was going on in my life at that time. It was a really interesting time when I started doing these videos. Grinded them really hard. I did basically every week for 6 months, which is really tough. And then in 2023, I stepped back to be a little bit more selective with them. And that's kind of the process that I'm going through as moving forward to 2024. I'm basically down to doing, if Home Free puts out something that catches my interests, then I'll do that. But for the most part, I'm doing the Bass Gang, Voice Play, Jeff, and each of the Bass Gang solo project work. Wellerman work I'm doing as well. So that's kind of like my approach to this. If you've never seen one of my videos, what I do is I'll actually go through and watch this entire thing if I've never seen it before, which this one I haven't. And then I'll go back a second time, and that's when we do the pausing and stuff like that, where I'll kind of talk about the things that I think are really cool. I've learned a lot doing these videos over time, and then also watching folks like Peter Barber, who was the guy that inspired me to start doing these types of videos for myself. Like I said, it started as my own personal creative outlet, and just turned into something kind of neat. So thank you, Peter, for inspiring it and continuing to put out cool stuff that allows me to continue to react to it. But yeah, that's how I do these videos. YouTube hates the structure of it, but everyone that I've talked to through my comment section and stuff like that love this structure. I don't make any money off this channel. I do this purely for fun right now. If you want to support me, there are ways to do that. Obviously, subscribing to the channel and stuff like that are big ones. But if you're looking for other ways to support me financially, honestly, I've got a Patreon that I am planning on finally doing something with. I've got some things I'm working on. There'll be another video that talks about some of the ideas that I have for that. And then you can also subscribe to me through Twitch, where I do a lot of my gaming stuff, but I mean, it's a way to support financially if you want to. I also do accept like PayPal donations and stuff like that if you're looking to support financially. You don't have to. I'm comfortable-ish. I'm not quite paycheck to paycheck, but I'm not quite living like luxury in my life, so I don't need the money. But if that's something that you want to do, you can. I did just drop $800 on car repairs, so that was not fun. Anyways, I'm getting too long with this. I try to keep these things like under 4 minutes, and they always go like 5 or 6. So without further ado, let's get into If I Had a Heart from the show Vikings, the Bass Singers cover featuring Ekatarina Shelehova. And let's do this. Let's get this background out of here so we can go. Oh, let me get my watermark out of there too. Let's take that out. There we go. Let's turn this up just a smidge.
This will never end 'cause I want more. More, give me more, give me more. This will never end 'cause I want more. More, give me more, give me more. If I had a heart, I would love you. If I had a voice, I would sing. After the night when I wake up, I'll see what tomorrow brings. If I had a voice, I would sing.
Dangling feet from window frame. Will I ever reach the floor? More, give me more, give me more. Crushed and filled with all I found underneath and inside, just to come around. More, give me more, give me more.
Oh. 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 Whoa. Okay. Yeah, that song, it started clicking with me about 30 seconds in what it was, but I remember the original version. This is really cool and was very different than what I was expecting. So anytime these groups bring in collaborators of some sort, you see this with voice play, you see this with the bass gang, you've seen this with almost any a cappella group that brings in a collaborator of any kind, where they'll do something to early on in the song really highlight their collaborator. And here you didn't get that until like well into the piece. Also, this is just the way my brain functions because I am a gamer at heart. she could easily pass for not. It's not quite the same timbre as the thing. Hang on, I got to do it. Witcher OST. Is it? I think it's this one. Yeah. Listen to this vocal here. Like, so you hear that vocal timbre there. That's from The Witcher Wild Hunt, of course, one of the best games ever. Uh, Not quite the same vocal timbre, although I think she could get there. But Ekaterina could definitely like pass for that. I don't know. Now, The Witcher's famously like super Polish, and I think they use some Polish singers to do that. I don't know if she is Polish or if she's. I mean, she's definitely Eastern European of some kind based on the name and her physical appearance, and just the way that I understand human bone structure and kind of the features of people in different parts of the universe. Anyways, getting on a tangent, history nerd was coming out there a little bit, but she could pass for that. And there was definitely moments here where I was like, "This is just straight up ethereal," which is not a word you use a lot outside of a D&D campaign, but very cool, very very cool. So if you're here for just the reaction, that's the end of the video for you. I appreciate you very much for showing up and sticking it out. For those of you that want to get into the breakdown, there's a lot going on here. I'm probably going to miss like a dozen things, but we'll see. So first off, Marwyn with a man bun. I approve. And Bobby with the little rat tail covering with his, also approved. So before, oh god. So before we get into this, of course, we get just this low that I think Tommy's doing. Might be Tommy and Peter, and then everyone else is oh, 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 oh. These like very like almost like Viking battle chant style breathiness to it. Real quick visually, this is a cool as hell shot. This is badass. So whoever, actually, before we go too much further, let's grab credits. Does it show? Peter arranged this. So this was, I know when Peter did, I watched Peter's This Is Halloween reaction. He mentioned an early winter release that he thought Marwyn could do. I did not do a reaction to This Is Halloween, by the way, because I completely missed it in the feed somehow and didn't see it until like 2.5 months later. Ed Boyer did the mixing. Dave's Sperandio, I'm assuming that's how you say it, with the mastering. Marwan did the video editing. Okay. Shoutouts. OBP. I don't know what that is. Please tell me. Fever Ray. I'm assuming that's some sort of video editing software, stuff like that. And then it's just the normal stuff, and then all the patrons. Oh, they put the lyrics in here. That's cool. So if you want to load the lyrics to the song, you can do that. It's very cool. So this is the Peter arrangement. Okay, so that actually helps make things much more sensible, and the fact that it's a Marwan video edit also makes much more sense. Because they use some, I guess, some new techniques here. It's just that thick, low. I mean, there's some subs going definitely there. I imagine Tommy's doing a lot more of his like inhale growl techniques that he's gotten really good at. But yeah, it sounds like a bunch of subs across the board. And as deep as those are, it has to be in range of everyone's subs. I know Marwan's got the deepest sub because he's done zeros. I'm gonna say E1 sub. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me in the comments if what this opening bass chord is. Also, I love the fact that is it Peter? as TBX, the bass, bass gang. Obviously, they don't have TBG, it's TBX, the bass, or the up arrow BX. I'm sure there's different ideas behind the symbolism of what Peter's doing with his stuff. It's been a while since I've seen Vikings, so I don't know if it's connection to the show or if it's much more generic Norse symbolism, which there is quite a bit of that I am familiar with. So I'll be very curious to see if someone knows the answer. Please tell me, because I'm not a patron right now. This is what I was talking about. I'm talking about earlier about how they usually will do something to feature the artist really early on, very prominently. Here, yes, she's doing these very angelic. I'm not even going to try to occupy because I can't even get us into that realm of singing yet. But it's very much blended in with the continued ha, oh, ha, hey, and the bass, those it's very much blended in with those here. And then they're following it on.
This will never end 'cause I want more.
This is kind of like you saw me doing this. Like, I was not expecting extreme close up. So, shout outs to the guys for this idea. I really love the fact that, like, the lighting that they use really makes, like, particularly their eyes pop, which is great.
Give me more, give me more.
Also, I couldn't do this because my teeth aren't that white.
This will never end 'cause I want more. More, give me more, give me more.
Also, Bobby's perfect to do Viking songs because he has like the face. We all know the Bobby face, I guess, as you could call it. So very cool. That I love that, and I love the trade between him and Peter. Or Peter's feels almost like pulled back.
More, give me more, give me more.
So very pulled back.
This will never end 'cause I want.
And then Bobby, who's usually known for having the more breathy bass, like comes in with like just raw power. You can hear it here. More, give me more, give me more. Like that projection. Shout outs to the dragon in the back.
If I had a heart, I would love you. If I had a voice, I would sing.
Love that slide, Tommy.
After the night when I wake up, I'll see what tomorrow brings.
Really nifty little duet here again with Katarina kind of pulled back in, not into the background, but she's like Marwan here is like level one, a layer, what I like to call layer one. So he's the voice that you're supposed to hear the most prominently, and you do. But then she's sitting there just underneath at level two, where she's adding this really nice contrast to what's going on, and adding enough of a ability to like where your ears kind of do this. And you saw me probably tilting my head like a confused dog quite a few times because I was trying to just comprehend everything that I was trying to hear. And this is one of those times where she did that. And again, this is actually where I kind of first thought like she could have been the girl from the Witcher soundtrack. There's something. There is something about her eyes that I can't stop looking at. Who the hell? Not important. Sorry. put the phone on mute. But there's something about her eyes that just enthrall me. She has gorgeous eyes. I mean, she's a gorgeous woman, but the way that she portrays herself on camera is siren like, where you just can't help but like every time she's on screen, my eyes are just completely drawn to her. And yes, that could be because she's a beautiful woman. I'm a single hetero dude. Naturally, it's there. But I find myself just trying to like just like enthralled by what she's doing with like her facial expressions and how she uses her eyes. Now again, I've got glasses. One of them is crooked. Like I have a thing about eyes, I guess. But she uses her eyes and the way she uses motion to pull you in a way that their other collaborators that they've used in the past haven't. And I'm very thrown off by it, but in like the best way. It's a sign of good like performance. That's what it is. It's legitimately a good, like, as a someone that sees himself as a performer when I do these videos, or when I was in high school drumline, or even when I'm streaming or whatever, like, I respect the performance aspect to it. She is very good at this. It's almost like she's a stage actor of some kind, or a stage singer of some kind. Who knew? See, and here's another one where they do really good things, but like again, drawn to Ekaterina, she just simply opens her eyes just slightly bigger, like right there. Or she kind of has them narrow, then she opens them up, and then she gives you that look down. It would almost makes her eyes seem smaller, even though she hasn't lowered her lids. Like, it's very cool. Other things that are very cool here, I really enjoy Marwan and Peter's super intensity, Bobby's wistfulness here almost in a way, where he's almost thinking about someone in particular, and then Tommy just kind of doing a nice blend of the two, where he has that intensity, but then also you can tell with it, when his eyes close and going, you can tell it's almost like he's recalling a memory. Very cool. This note, please. And I need that note that's way the hell up there from Katarina. Very, very good. I really like the video editing here. I could tell this is kind of tell where this is a Marwan video, because every single note has some sort of representation on screen, and it's very cool. So as we layer, and then we get into this. Very, very cool. I really like the play with Katarina and her shadows. Very cool stuff there. I really like that. That's a cool visual touch. It adds a nice little bit of layering. Do the video editing, of course, it kind of semi-covers Bobby and Peter and Tommy and Marwan in the background. So, like, just cool stuff. And it mimics her movements too.
Dangling feet from window frame. Will I ever reach the floor? More, give me more, give me more.
Oh, this is what gave me chills, and I got chills again. Jesus Christ. Okay. So lots to talk about here. So things that are very, very cool about this. Obviously, we have Katarina, I think, triple layered, or going in 3 different voices here, because we have this.
Ever reach the floor? More, give me more, give me more.
Might only be 2. Sounds like 3 though. But we have this, much higher one, and then she does this like very cool sounding low. Now, like, she's never gonna be like a Jeff or a bass gang bass, but women that can go pretty low and it sounds very comfortable, like just here, it is very cool to me. I really enjoy it. It might be attracted to it. Who knows? Kink unlocked, right? Anyways, It's been a week, guys. I'm sorry. And it's Monday, but like the last 7 days have been ridiculous. But like just very cool because it's not something I don't listen to a ton of female singers, so when I hear stuff like this, it's very, very cool.
Give me more, give me more. Crushed and filled with
Just
all I
cool.
found underneath and inside just to come around. More, give me more, give me more.
I swear Peter was higher than her at one point in that, but I really like the fact that they again have her in this like I don't know the octave that you would call it. It's not soprano, not soprano. I don't know what it would be called. If you know, I'm not great with this stuff, guys. I'm sorry. But she has that, and then she has like this high pitch that she's going, and then she got into this like really high mix there at the end. And then of course you have voices like Peter's and stuff like that right here supporting it. And like I said, I swear I think Peter was doing higher notes than she was at one point. And it just adds like this level of depth and richness to everything that they're doing. And then you have all, of course, the in the backgrounds that are really, really nice. And the one thing I haven't talked about, which would surprise anyone that's watched this channel for a long time, is I'm 27 minutes almost into this video and I haven't talked about the drums. Clearly sampled. I'm okay with that because Viking drums are very hard to do vocal percussion wise. And there's definitely a point where I sat there going, man, if I would have been dressed up and you would have given me those drums, I would have been 1000% in on doing something like this. Like the old drummer in me was like, God, I wish I could do something like this because I love it's a very simple stuff like that. And it's not exactly what they're doing, but it's close enough. But for me, like I was always a big, big fan. Like when you're a drummer in high school or in marching band or indoor drumline fanatic, if you're not, go check out some of the groups over the years. Um, there's you always get really involved with like the super, super complex stuff, like the things where it just they're doing things with sticks that you didn't think were possible. Like that's the stuff that people really get into. Like it's the same with like people getting like they freak out about these really, really low notes. I do, or these really, really high notes, like we've heard Katarina in this song. But sometimes the things that are like the most fun to do as a performer are the things that are the simplest because it allows you to be creative in other ways. Whereas if you're doing, like, for example, in drumming, if you're doing this super complex snare part, you really have to focus a lot on making sure you're hitting every single moment and motion and note of the snare. Make sure you're hitting every roll, every diddle, every rim shot, every like everything that you need to do. And sometimes it means that you just are just watching my hands. You're not watching the whole thing. Whereas if you got something, and over time, I mean, as you practice it, it becomes muscle memory. You get to throw in these different aspects to it. But the things for me that were always the most fun for me in high school was when we had stuff that was very, very simple, and I got to throw in ways to be creative about it. And this drum set piece is like something that would be very simple. So I could see myself like standing up against it and doing these big motions before going into playing and portraying like the anger and the readiness for battle and the things that you're seeing the performers do on the screen. I would see myself doing with the drum part. So I really love simple drum beats like this because in my brain it puts me into like, dude, what if I was in this video as the drummer doing all the drum beats? And it's just it's cool to think about as someone that has been in those positions in the past. And again, Marwin video editing, if there's a note being played, it is on the screen and it leads to insane overload in some ways. It's almost like overstimulation, but at the same time, it's like super cool because I can pause the screen and look at it and like you can see like feeling it, feeling it, feeling it. I've got what three Marwin front faces here. Tommy, you can see he's almost like the stoic warrior. Bobby, almost the one that knows he's going into battle, but there's someone that he loves. And then you have Peter, who's kind of filling in the grueling warrior, and then Ekaterina with the three faces of hers that I can see is the siren, maybe the woman that controls everything. Like who knows? It's just like, oh, I could get into like all sorts of theory about this. Is that if I had a voice I would sing? That's ironic. Hang on, let's go check the lyrics. Check the lyrics. If I had a voice I would sing. Ironic that that line is there. Let me just close this out here. And again, that angelic quality to Katarina's voice. God, I love it. Dude, I have to go check out more of her stuff. I'm definitely gonna have to go check out more of her stuff now. But some very cool stuff that went on here before we get into If I Had a Voice, I Would Sing. Like a lot of complexity, a lot of chords going on. Like I don't know how many parts we're getting in some of these, but they're layered. And I really love the Katarina. Of course, we're getting that what I like to dub the Witcher voice, that with that very specific timbre that I can't do. And then of course we're getting this really high mix, or I don't know if it's mixed, but really this really except much higher, combined with what the boys are doing here. Like no matter your skill as a singer, like this is a part that you could easily hum along to, and you're gonna be pretty much in tune because there's so much going on that you basically, wherever you're at, unless you're so discordant, you slot in pretty well if you have even a modicum of singing skill. I really like the video editing that they did there, with each person in the video getting like a screen of about 7 to 8 seconds to themselves. It's very cool. Just allows all of them to get some shine, and they're all doing, and it kind of, whatever they were doing was kind of enhanced almost a little bit in my ears, it sounded like. So very cool. Very love the video editing choice there that Marwan made. Oh God, I love that. So good. So good. I am so happy that I did this video. I wasn't thinking about doing it today, but because it's been like I said, a rough 7 days for me mentally and personally. So, but I'm glad I did this video. Thank you, Bass Gang. Thank you, Katarina, for putting this together, putting the work into this. This is another excellent video. Let's hang on. I'm gonna do the thing. Give me this damn thing. So yeah, go check these guys out. Go support Katarina. Go support the Bass Gang if you haven't already. Excellent stuff. So until the next video, I hope you all stay safe. I hope you're enjoying yourself. You're having fun. You're listening to great music, and I'll see you next time.